Hey there, it's Chica and Joe, and today we're going to make this fun witch pitch party game for Halloween. We'll start with a big piece of black foam core. Get the biggest one you can find so that your witch hat can be as big as possible. To draw the hat as large as possible, start by finding the center of the end and marking it. Then use a yardstick to draw a straight line from that center point down to the bottom right corner, and another one to the bottom left corner. That will give you the pointed part of the witch's hat. Then get a pencil and round out one side to create the hat's brim. If you need help with the curve, you can trace a large bowl or a plate, but this is a pretty forgiving shape, so just sketch out the curve, rounding it out to the center of the bottom. Only draw one side for now. In a minute, I'll show you a hack for getting the brim perfectly symmetrical. Use some scissors or a craft knife to cut the curve you just drew. Now here's the hack. Take that piece you just cut off and flip it over and line it up on the other corner. Trace that shape and you have a perfectly symmetrical hat brim. While I'm cutting this out, please go ahead and hit like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Okay, now cut the top edge of the brim on one side, just up to the straight line part, and grab that little piece you cut off, take it over to the other side like you did before, flip it, trace it, and get that side of the brim perfectly matching the first side. You could probably do both of these cuts and traces in one piece, but I wanted my brim to go all the way to the very edge of the foam core, so it was as big as possible, and that meant the trimmed areas were in two pieces. The straight lines of the hat are super easy to cut. Just put a long ruler along the pencil line and run a craft knife down to cut the straight line on both sides. One last thing, go ahead and take a pencil and draw a curve a couple inches inside the bottom of your brim, connecting those two straight lines. That's going to be the rounded edge of the center of your hat. And just like that, you have a witch's hat. It needs some decoration though, so let's work on that next. Okay, to trim the edges with orange, let's take some pieces of orange cardstock or paper and tape them together until you get a piece that's bigger than the brim of the hat. Then put the hat on top and trace around the edge. Cut that out and you have a piece of orange that perfectly matches the shape and size of the bottom of your hat. We only want the orange on the very edge of the hat though, so to create a trim for the edge, cut inside that shape, creating a strip about 1/4 inch or so wide. Put the cut piece back on the hat and you've got a perfectly shaped trim piece that curves just right. Finishing off the trim on the top of the hat is easy because it's straight. Just cut some strips of your leftover orange to the same width as your curved trim and then put those along the straight edge of the hat. Use some hot glue to attach the orange trim to the black all the way around. Seriously, I was so excited when I came up with this tracing cutting trick for creating the curved trim that matches so perfectly with the hat. Imagine trying to do this freehand and getting the curve right. Make sure that when you do the straight edges, you actually come down past the curve a couple of inches so that you have the true perspective of the hat's center and brim. This will be more clear here in a second when we outline the curves in the center. Now, to add that band around the edge, we're going to use some candy corn. Just run some hot glue along that curved pencil line and add your candy corn. I just love this touch, which makes the hat extra cute and matches the candy corn theme of the toss game. Add the candy corn from both sides, working your way to the center. When you get to the center, if the spacing isn't just right for a full candy corn to appear sideways, you can just stand it up like I did to fill the space and give it a little accent. At this point, I noticed that my cut edges of my black foam core were showing some white, so I just took a black marker and colored all the edges. This little touch makes those cut edges disappear and gives you a much more polished, finished look. To label the game, I opened up my Silhouette software and created a pattern with the words witch pitch, and then cut that out of orange cardstock. If you happen to have a Cricut, you could use that too, or if you don't have any electronic cutting machine, you could just use letter stickers from the craft store. With the base done, it's time to add the targets. We used little plastic cauldrons from the party store. Aren't they cute? I positioned 6 of them evenly on the hat and used hot glue to attach them down. This is an area that you can tweak easily to make your game harder or easier for kids of different ages. You can keep it simple and have all the targets be the same, or you could use a larger cauldron for fewer points and have the tiny ones be more points. Or you could make one that's farthest away be the most points. It's up to you. Okay, ready to play? You just need some candy corn. To play, just pitch candy corn into the cauldrons using whatever rules and point systems you came up with. Witch Pitch is a great game for a Halloween party, for trick-or-treaters, or for classroom fun. And as you can see, it's a little bit difficult to hit the target every time, which is just enough of a challenge to make it fun to play. If you find it's too easy, just stand farther away from it to increase the difficulty. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope we inspired you to make your own Witch Pitch game for Halloween this year. Please don't forget and like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of our fun projects and party ideas.